Okay, class, we're on step 7, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a field in this step. So um, you should have your form opened up. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a couple things. We need to get space to move this down to add a publisher ID field up top. So we're in the bottom right-hand corner. You should see my mouse highlighting over design view. I can either click there or I can click design view here. Right, so our form's open. I'm clicking design view. I'm going to make sure that when I click on this and I click the arrange, if I can't move these one at a time, then they're arranged in a certain order, and I could remove that layout. When I remove that layout, I can now move these fields either together or one at a time. And that's important so that, like, if we're doing it in the other view, we can get some space to add the publisher ID. So once I've done that or just gotten that space to move that down enough, we're going to go ahead, we're going to go to design, we're going to add an existing field, and we're going to select publisher ID. Okay, so when it appears, then we're going to go ahead and drag it where it needs to go, right? We want it, it says, I believe, up top, and we're just going to have to continue to manipulate this until we get it in the right format and area. And sometimes that could be a little bit tough. All right, so now we're going to get enough space on that. And I'm just simply clicking, and then when I get to the arrows, I can drag it in the way I want. And so he's got a little bit of space above each other, so I'm going to try to get my 4 corner arrows and move it up just a tad. Sometimes it's really hard. Right, and I'm hitting the up arrow on my keyboard now once I've got to highlight it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to form view, which I can go either here or down low, right? I'm going to do it here. So now I've added the publisher field that was required to add. The next step in this is to close the field pane, move the rep first name controls directly above the rep last name. So we want this field to be above the rep last name. So I'm going to do that in design view again. I'm going to go ahead and move these items down. I need to create my space. We're just moving these down, and we're going to, once we move the rep last name down enough, we're going to go ahead and move the rep first name above the rep last name. And we're going to clean it up a little bit. See if we could space it out. Move this up. And so it's easier for me to use my arrows by clicking up and down. I'm not good at clicking and dragging. I like to move it like that. Looks like that's a little bit off. Okay. So the next step it asks us to do is click the job title box control, set with property to 2.5 and save the design. So it says click the job title test control box. Right. So I right click and go to properties. We get our property sheet. Right, and there's our control box, and it says set the width to 2.5. Width, right? So we're on the job title, right? We're setting the width to, we'll leave that quotation there, 2.5. and then save the changes to your design. So let's take a look. It looks like we need to probably clean that up a little bit with the spacing on that one. So we'll go ahead and fix that now. Like it needs to come over probably about right there. Right, that looks better. Okay, folks, about a quarter of the way done with our course 1 project, our course 3G project. Next step is step 8. We're going to go back to design view. It wants us to select all of our boxes here. So let me get out of that just to show you how to do that. So we click on one, and I click on one, and I'm holding the control button down as I click on the rest of them. So it's just a left click. I'm holding the control button down, and they want us to apply background color turquoise accent light 80%. Now, I use the format here. I'm going to, that's it, format, and I'm doing the background now and not the text. So that's the font, that's the background, and it's telling me to use theme colors, and it says turquoise accent 1 lighter 80%. But then it tells me under themes column, in the 5th column, use the 2nd color. So even though it doesn't say turquoise, that's what we're going to use, okay? So we've gone ahead and changed that. Our next one says select all 6 labels. So we're going to select all 6, hold the control button down and click, hold the control and click, hold the control and click. And it's telling me in this one, change the font color, right? So format, font color, right? Not the background, the font color. And we're going to use dark teal text 2, darker 50%, which is theme color in 4th column, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one. Okay. It wants us to apply the bold font. With all the label controls selected, we're going to set the width. I'm going to set the width to 1.75. Select all label controls, all text box controls. So label and text box, we're going to control and click, control and click. Okay. It says it wants the font size to be 12. Okay. Set the height to 0.25. The height to 0.25. Save our form. Let's take a look at how our form looks. And there's our form with all the adjustments. Okay, class, we're on step 9. So we want to go to design view. So here's our, I think we closed out our report last. So we're gonna, or our form last, we're gonna reopen our form. We're gonna go to design view. You can go either here, or you can go in the bottom right hand corner to the ruler. So we're in design view. It wants us to work on the form footer and set the height. So we're going to click on the form footer. We're going to set the height. And when I highlight that, I leave that quotation in there. I don't want to mess around with that, to 0.5. All right, so I'm out of my, and I click out of it. And then add a label control to the form footer section that displays Texas Lakes Southwest Campus, right? So in the form footer section, we are going to add a control. And it should be, here's the control buttons, right? Going to add a label control. If I highlight over that, it says label control or label. Click on that. I'm going to go to my form section. I'm going to click and drag my, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to click and drag my footer. So there, it gives me a text box I need to type in. I'm going to type in Texas Lakes Southwest Campus. For this label control, we're going to change the font color to dark teal, text 2 darker 50%. It's going to tell us where. Theme colors in the fourth column, the last color. I'm going to highlight it. Right, we're going to go to format. We're going to go to our, actually we're going to go to our theme colors. Tells us the fourth color in the last row. So we could do it, we've been doing it this way, right? We've been highlighting our text and going here. We could also, okay, sorry about that, folks. We were highlighting our font color, and when I did it, it didn't come up, so I closed Access, reopened it up. But I'm going to highlight the color, and I'm going to select the, I believe it wants the font color in the, let's see, the fourth row. Darker teal text 2, darker 50 under themes and colors, fourth column, the last color. 1, 2, 3, 4, last color. So we're going right there. And again, I did the background instead of the font. So I just clicked the back arrow. I'm going to highlight that again. I want the font. I don't want the background. Right? I want the font. So 1, 2, 3, 4, last color. And that's it. It wants us to apply bold. So we're going to click bold. Right? And here it has label 181. So that's what I'm working with. So that's another thing. If there's nothing in there, you're not going to change nothing. Or if it's company header, you're up here. Right? So when you highlight this, it should change it to the where you are working on, right? Or I could just change it this way. All right. In this case, this is called label 181. And I knew that from over here in my property sheet. When I clicked on it, it told me label 181. So I know that this had to be working label 181. Okay. So we are going to, we did our theme colors. We applied bold. For the label control, set the width to 2.2, width to 2.2, and set the top property to 0.01. We're just going to take out that 25, 0.01. And the left property to 1. Left to 1. And then it tells us to close the property sheet, save your form, and then switch to form view. Save the form, yes. Switch to, so I'm right clicking, design view, layout view. I don't want to do that. I want to go to form view, right? So I double click to open it and put it on form view. Using the form, add a new record to the underlying table as shown. All right, so we are going to cut the video here. We're going to continue off on step 9, and we're going to add table 2 to the form in step 9. Thanks.